Time for us to bring in Celtics big man Al Horford into the show. Al, thanks so much for taking the time out to join us today. And this Celtics team with some winning momentum, winning those last two. How do you guys kind of bottle that up and keep that momentum going?
Feels good. Feels good to win those last couple. And the biggest thing for us is to continue to build that consistency and just finding ways to win. It's not easy to win. And, every game it's been a grind, for our group. So the whole key is just to continue to chip away at it and just find a way to actually just win games.
Yeah, you had a tweet amidst all the calamity and you guys riding that roller coaster where you told the fans, hey, stick with us. What gives you hope that this group will figure it out and go to that next level?
Just the group that we have. I feel like we just have we have too good of a team, too good of players. Guys really trying to do the right things. Guys that really, I believe, that really want to win. And it's been a difficult year, for us. And we're not making excuses, but we understand that at times can be very frustrating. So the biggest thing that I wanted to put with that tweet out there is for people to stick with us, and that I feel like we're going to be fine. We just need to keep plugging away at it.
And just like you mentioned, it's been a difficult year, players in and out of the lineup due to COVID and injuries. How challenging is that for this team and trying to find that chemistry and momentum out there on the floor?
It's definitely a challenge. But, when you look around the league, everybody's going through it. That's we can't hold our heads on that. But the biggest thing for us is just to continue to build and play the right way and be very solid defensively, which we've been for a good part of the year, but just, being consistent. And it's something that, right now, we hope that we start to get it going and really start making up some ground here with the wins.
You obviously got an experience with the Jays before you went to Philadelphia. What is the biggest difference you've noticed? Let's start with Jaylen, goes for 50 the other night. What's the biggest difference you noticed with Jaylen? And then I guess the same thing with Jayson. What have you noticed from their development?
Well, I think that the confidence right off the bat, they were always confident players, but just the assertiveness, the embracing of being the guys, being the main guys. They were just playing so different, and Jaylen, trying to, be the best that he can in what he does, putting pressure on the rim, shooting the ball, getting out in transition, just finding ways to continuing to be that great scorer that he is. And then with Jayson, the same thing, just continuing to grow, continuing to read defenses, continuing to stay aggressive. It's been a very natural progression, and it's been that they've both have taken a huge step, since I left.
And speaking of Jaylen Brown, 50 points, a career high the other night. What was the reaction in the locker room, or maybe what was the mood when you guys got back there?
Man, it was great. Everybody was just really happy for him. Jaylen is so quiet. He kind of goes about his business, puts his head down, and it's just kind of whatever. But we were excited. We were excited for him. And I think Coach Udoka said something like, man, like Jaylen had 50, like it didn't even feel like he had 50, like it was like a quiet 50. But it just speaks to kind of Jaylen, like, he has that ability to score. It's just that he did it so smoothly, and we were just really happy. And Jaylen, I think, was just more relieved that, that we won that game because, we worked really hard for it. And he was obviously, the biggest reason why.
Yeah, he did say after that win that he just needed to bleep and win. But I want to ask you about Ime. Obviously, same deal. You had a little experience with him in Philadelphia. What do you notice most about Ime as a head coach, and what's it like in that locker room? Is he holding you guys as accountable in there as he is when we see him at the podium and kind of calling guys out?
Yeah, no question. Coach Udoka has been great, and he's really making sure that the message is clear to us, what he expects from us, what he wants us to do. He's holding people accountable, and him and his coaching staff are continuing to do a good job of preparing us, making sure that we're at our best, when it's go time. And for us, we're at the point, like I said earlier, that it's just time for us to start turning things around and really start putting it together.
And we know that you've been with Coach Ime Udoka when he was in Philadelphia. Just in what areas have you seen him grow now that he's in a head coaching position?
Just being an assistant, being a head coach, obviously is totally different. So just him kind of taking in the reins and, he can be loose at times when he needs to. He can tighten up when he needs to, and kind of be assertive and do things like that. So he's been very versatile and just really just kind of feeling out the locker room and just kind of going, kind of doing his own thing. When you're an assistant, it's kind of a certain way. But now that he's the head coach, obviously things are different, and I feel like he's doing a good job.
Al, the other night they played a little video on the Jumbotron. They asked for everybody's favorite cheat meal, and you said cereal. I'm wondering if you can rank me your favorite cereals, or what's your go-to on that like Frosted Flakes? What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's funny because, I would have to say if I find myself in a hotel and I want something sweet, because I'm not a big dessert guy, but I do enjoy cereal every now and then, and that's just not part of the way that I eat. So if I'm on the road at some point, you're kind of very limited in the hotels with the kind of cereals that they have, and Frosted Flakes is a good go-to. So, that's what I splurge on, and I enjoy it.
See, I think cheat meal, and then I think of like what I do, which is like I heat up a cookie and put some ice cream on there, some caramel, like all the extra fixins, and then Al Horford gets on the show and says, oh yeah, my cheat meal is cereal, and now
I say my healthy meal is cereal. Like
right. I was not expecting you to say cereal at all. Also, I want to take a look at this backdrop, because we're not going to go through this whole interview, Chris Forsberg, and not address the backdrop that Al Horford has right here. What city is this? Chicago? What's it? Is this New York? This New York you got in the background?
That's a good. I think it's New York. I found it on my backgrounds, and I was like, let me try this today. I like it. So I think it's New York. Yeah.
All right.
I absolutely love this, Al Horford, that you have put this in your backgrounds, especially for us. You got to make it look good, and I appreciate that.
I got to ask you, we were doing some research. Again, I wanted to find some lighter questions, and I looked it up, and it said when you were in high school, you finished 5th in voting for Mr. Basketball in Michigan. Can you even name the 4 guys in front of you, and do you just like text them and be like, hey, how's it going? Like NBA superstar, like, I don't understand how you finished 5th.
Yeah, I went to, a smaller school, and actually the guy that won it was a really good player, Drew Neitzel. I played with him in AAU, point guard. He went to Michigan State, a really, really good player. The other 4, honestly, I can't tell you who they are, but definitely Drew Neitzel, he was one of my guys, and he was a really good high school player.
I love it. All right, thanks so much, Al, for stopping by the show. We appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.